Hey all, and this is the Legacy of the Lich event. This is an Earth Commander event and Chaotic Killer. So I did manage to get the event Ultimate form. It's pretty strong, it has a decent boost to it. 225%, which is the same as that super overpowered Light Commander deck. So these are the teams I've made up. One for the bosses here. That also uses another event card as well, the Ultra Rare. Then a team for the ultimates, then an alternative team. I don't think that would do too much damage. It's something to try though, if you're struggling for ideas. Then that's my Dark Commander team, my Water Slayer team that I use for quite a few events. Then that super overpowered Light Commander team. So I won't talk through all of the teams since that would take ages. I will talk through the important ones. Let's start with the Crusade. United Shardbearers. This is still a really good Earth Commander card, even though it's one of the older cards. Increases Earth Commander damage by 80%, plus the passive permanently increases by 50%. Those two buffs together make this really good. Then the next card, Colossals of Corellis. The next Earth Commander gets a 200% damage buff. I use that to boost up Brothers in Banditry. Has an increase of 300% to self-damage as well. Another older card, but still my best Earth Commander hitting card. In other words, the best that has a self-damage increase. Then the event Ultimate form. The main selling feature of this is that increases Earth Commander damage by 225%. It's for 3 turns as well. That's really good. It does have a cleanse as well, you can see here. Cleanses one enemy debuff from self and all Earth Commanders. That could make this really, really useful in GVG. Then finally, Jade Agents. This is the alternative Chaotic Killer Earth Commander Ultimate form. Main reason I use this for the Crusade is because of its 1-turn cooldown. It also spawns a lot of power gems, so it's useful for getting through the regular enemies. And for the relics, these are just my best Earth Commander relics basically. It doesn't really matter too much since it's only for the Crusade. Some of these are only 1 pink star unfortunately though. My Earth Commander relics are not really that good, but it's the best I have. They don't make too much difference to the damage anyway. But there we go, that's what I am using for the Crusade. Then if we move across to the bosses team, it's slightly different. I've taken out Jade Agents and replaced it with the event Ultra Rare, so I now have 2 event cards. Gifted Blades Master on its own is really useful as it has the damage buff, which is why it's on the team for the Guild and Solo Bosses team. Doesn't really have too much on its own though, but the only thing that really matters is that damage buff. And then the other cards you saw on the Crusade team, Colossals of Corellis, used to boost up Brothers in Banditry, has that increase of 300% self-damage. Potent Pathfinders again, the event Ultimate form. Lovely 225% increase to Earth Commander damage. Creates power gems, plus it's over 3 turns, you can see here. And then United Shardbearers again. Still really like this card. I couldn't get it when it was originally released, so had to get it from the Drillfist store. It's still a good card though, even though it's quite old. And the relics are slightly different. I have 2 chaotic relics this time around. Since there's an ultra rare on the team, 1 relic on its own wasn't enough to break all of the shields. The other 3 relics are just my best relics. Here's one of the chaotic relics anyway. You can see here. That's just another random relic. One of my better relics. Then here's the other chaotic relic. There we go, that's the relics. Now to scroll across to the next team. This is basically the same as the previous team, except I'm now trying to break as many shields as possible. So how many shields am I breaking? You probably saw that Gifted Bladesmaster was not on the Ultimates team. I may change that around though. I will lose 2 shields, but have a massive increase to the damage, so we'll see if that balances it out or not. Anyway, onto the shields. This is 4 shields, then 3, so that's 7, another 3, that's 10, then that will be 12, 17, 19, 24 in total, or 22 if I swap in the ultra rare card. This team might be more useful as it is now though. Marauchi Marauders has a decent increase to Earth Commander damage, plus more importantly, it has a revive on it, and that could be really useful for the Ultimates, so I'm not quite sure what I'll do yet. I may keep it like this, or I may put Gifted Bladesmaster on the team with that nice increase to Earth Commander damage. I'll have to experiment to see which is better. Anyway, let's scroll across to this team. I probably won't use this, but I'll talk through it anyway. The idea behind this team is to get Oasis allies to do as much damage as possible. Since this is Immortal Killer, you can see here, it also does have the Cleanse and Dispel as well that the Event Ultimate form had. You want to use High Performance Units area to get supercharged up, then just go left to right. Colossals of Corellis gives a 200% damage buff combined with Metaverse Masters for another 150% damage buff, both going on Oasis allies. Then the Event Ultimate form here with 225% increase to damage as well. You could also swap out Metaverse Masters. Having Gifted Bladesmaster on the team would probably be more effective since the buff is higher. It's something to try anyway, depending on what cards you have. Then the Dark Commander team, I'm not really going to talk too much about that. It's just a basic left to right team. You can see it here, that's something to try if you really don't have anything else. Same with the Water Slayer team, that's a real long shot. And then the Light Commander team, a nice left to right team. You might get 20Q or so out of this, so it might be worth trying if your Earth Commander cards are not that good. This is the best out of the alternative teams. I will talk through this one quickly. Creators of Legend, this has a nice 225% increase to Light Commander damage. Divine Sovereigns gives Excalibur to one card, increases their damage by 500%. Given to Sunblessed Siblings, which is also Chaotic Killer, has an increase of self-damage. Caladria's Last Lineage, again, has an increase to Light Commander damage. Then Nick Master of Blades increases Light Commander damage by 225%. So something you could try. Divine Sovereigns has a bigger boost than Colossals of Corellis, 500% versus 200%. So you might find this is actually more effective. It's worth trying anyway if you're struggling for ideas. Right, that about covers the decks I'm using for this event, and a few other ideas as well. Of course, you will need to mix in the cards you have to make up the best decks possible. So let's get on with the actual event. Here we go. Alright, so here we go with the Crusade. As always, I recommend sticking with the Umbral if you can complete it. I might as well just take any Earth Commander card. It's not particularly difficult to complete. You can always search at the bottom though, in the Adventurers, if you need a specific Earth Commander card. Right, here we go. So the idea behind this is to just use the final 3 cards at the end on each of the normal waves and bosses, then use the other 3 cards when you reach the end boss. I will explain this. The Event Ultimate form has 225% damage buff, plus creates the power gems for 3 turns, and Jade Agents can be used every turn. So just using those 3 cards should be enough Don't forget that the event ultimate form passively creates power gems as well. So there we go. And then, yeah, just repeat the process basically. Using the event ultimate forms when they light up. Otherwise, just using Jade agents. And this is a nice quick way to get through the Crusade. It's the fastest method I have found anyway. And obviously the more Crusade you get through, the more ultimates you get up, the more solo bosses you get up. And ultimately, the better your final place will be. There's no other bosses so far though, unfortunately. But this method will get through bosses as well as the regular enemies. That's a pretty bad grid. Should still be enough though, with a bit of luck. Let's see. Yeah, just 1 trillion on Brothers in Banditry. Will I get some sort of other boss? No, just regular enemies. That's a bit disappointing. Especially considering it's 5 waves. You would have thought you would get at least one other boss. But yeah, this is pretty fast. And then for the end boss, if it's Kronos, Lord of Time, you will get a solo boss afterwards, so do be careful. If you can't defeat the solo bosses, be ready to quit out at that point. It's not though, so that's not a problem. And then since it's the end boss, use the other cards, and that should be the end of this. Nice and quick. Hopefully this method will work on the later stages. Early on it works absolutely fine. 96.6 trillion on Brothers in Banditry, boss defeated. And there we go, that's the Crusade done nice and quickly. That's the method I recommend using for this anyway. Right, so here's the guild boss screen. I'm going to try out my teams on these guild bosses. As I mentioned in previous videos, if you are going to take on multi-bosses, having teams like this one here with just the one card is always really useful. So I think let's try my boss's team on this boss, see how much damage I can get out of this. Then afterwards I will compare this to my Light Commander team, see what the damage is like with that. These are my only real 2 hitting teams I think this time around, so those are the ones I need to try out. There's nothing loose on the board this time around. You can also use Colossals of Corellis twice. I only used it once. But there's the damage anyway. Reasonable 40-ish Q. Let's see if I can get a better hit going. I'm sure I can. Well, hopefully I can anyway. So Flatline and Traitor. So revives won't be that useful on the ultimate bosses, unfortunately. So I may have to rethink my strategy for those. Not sure yet. Let's see what I can do here anyway. Right, and then finally... Oh, that's not a bad board. I think we have the one loose in the corner. So it should do more damage than my previous hit. Yeah, there we go. 63Q, I think that was. Might as well kill this boss while I'm here. Shouldn't be too hard from here. But yeah, the damage is pretty reasonable on this deck. It's not spectacular, but it's not bad. I needed something decent for Earth Commander. My Earth Commander decks were quite poor, if I'm being honest. I missed one of the key hitting cards. But yeah, you can see what this can do. Quite easily took care of a relatively low level guild boss. So now let's go ahead and try out my Light Commander team to see how that compares on the new boss. Right, this should be fun. I don't really have anything else that's going to work. I mean, I could try that out as well just to see. I don't think it would do too much. So let's go ahead and try the Light team. I seem to be lacking Light Commander Chaotic Relics. I made a slight adjustment to the team, but there's still one shield up. Anyway, this will give me an idea of what the damage is like with this team compared to my Earth team. I can't see it being as high, but It's definitely something that's worth trying out. Let's see what the damage is. I managed to get through the water commander event with this team, believe it or not. It's not really doing that much damage here, though. It does have one shield up, though, so you can add a couple of Q to the damage to sort of make it comparable. Traitor could be a pain this event. Traitor and Flatline. That's quite a nasty combination in all fairness. It's not as bad as some of the combinations we've had though, but yeah, this gives an idea of what the light commander team can do. It's not spectacular, but it's an option if you are struggling for ideas. It was useful in the water commander event, and this should be the best I can get out of this deck. There's a couple of loose power gems, let's see. So yeah, 15.7 Q, it's nowhere near as good. But there we go. I think we will quit out at this point. You've seen this deck in action. Now finally, let's go ahead and try the other Earth team. I don't think this will be that good. I want to give it a go anyway though. So I had to put an Immortal Killer Relic on the team, as it wasn't spawning any Dark Gems at all. This should be a bit better. It doesn't spawn that many though, so still kind of tricky to really do a lot. That's the hardest part about this team, getting Iria going. Might take me a few tries to sort of get something going here. I just want to see what the damage is like though with Iria on the team. Oh, there we go. We've got a few Dark Gems now, so we shall see. It's tough though, as the passives from the Earth cards sort of get rid of all the Dark Gems. I really don't recommend using this team, but it is an idea if you are struggling. Yeah, single affinity is probably best. Let's give this a go anyway. I've managed to get Iria going on the next hit. Iria does also remove Flatline and Traitor, so that's one other benefit of this team. And then I think just left to right. Right, let's try this. Well, it's only matching sort of with the middle gems. Probably saw that. They are constantly crushing together. I don't know about this damage. Let's see. Okay, that's a waste of time. It's what I expected. Let's quit out here. So yeah, single affinity seems like the best option to me. Making something similar to my boss's team over here. I think that's probably the best idea for this event. Anyway, that's the team testing done. So we do have this special feature at the top of the screen, Tournament of Champions. There are an absolute ton of really nice rewards here, you can probably see. However, this is at the end of each day, I think. You get rewards based on your placement in guild ranking. The GBG runes are pretty nice though. I may go for the Lance of the Endless rune pack over there. I know it costs 90 of these coins. I think that's worthwhile though, as I'm close to getting my Dark GBG relic up to 1 pink star. Then the leaderboards over here. Oh, we're first, but in the New Recruits League, we are well ahead of anyone else. So that's pretty good to start this event anyway. And then I'm 7th in guild ranking, but have only really just started playing the event. But yeah, that's what the shop and leaderboard looks like. Then I might as well claim the collection while I'm here. Right, so I have claimed the Season Choice coins. That was to get the event Ultimate Form. I'm going to go ahead and claim the rest of it now. GBG Relic Collection, one of the best in the game. Very happy to see this. Of course, if all the runes are exactly the same, I'm not going to be so happy, but they all look different so far. I may have got 6 different runes there. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Here's the same ones appearing. That's always going to happen. Right, you know what I have to do now. go over to the forge and see if I can upgrade my GVG relic. This is always fun. Let's have a quick look. What do you think? Will I have all of the runes? Well, we're about to find out. Oh, look, I'm missing one. That's to be expected. It's the circular one here that I need. I've got the rest, though. Yeah, you can see here. I'm not far off the 6-star. I have one at 5-star. That's a bit unlucky. Anyway, let's go out of here. That's kind of to be expected with the runes. Let's get back over to the event page. I'll have a look at what it is this time around in the leagues. Right, what have we got? Oh, it's a Dragoon by the looks of it. Lich Lord Frightjaw. Okay, creates a lot of water power gems. Has an upgrade as well. Nice Dragoon. It would probably specialise into something decent since it's one of the modern Dragoons. And for that reason alone, it's probably well worth fighting for. Especially considering the event deck is pretty powerful this time around. So hopefully I will get a couple of copies of this. Even though I don't really use water in GVG that much, I do have the basics of a decent attack team. Now to go ahead and claim the random 6-star hero. Now I would love this to be the main event hero, but we shall see. If it is, I can claim the shiny hero. If it's not, then I can't. Oh, it's half of the Jailer's deck. Okay, that's not too bad in all fairness. The Jailers used to be one of the best decks in the game for a while. Unfortunately, I probably won't be able to get the shiny hero unless I buy the 3rd and 4th tiers of the vault. And that's 3,900 gems, I believe. So I don't think I want to do that. But the event deck itself, you've already seen this, increases Earth Commander damage by 225%. That's the main selling feature of the deck. Huge boost, may I add. And if you are just going to get one of the cards, Gifted Blazemaster is the only one really worth getting, since it has that nice boost, but it doesn't really create any gems or anything. So you need other cards to go with this. The Master Hero on its own is a bit useless actually. Just creates the power gems, has the cleanse, and another cleanse in the passive as well, but no damage buff. That's what you really need from this deck. Anyway, that's what the deck looks like. You've seen me use it in action. It's a good deck. Maybe not the strongest deck I've ever seen. But yeah, not quite as powerful as the Light Commander deck. But still a good deck. Still one I recommend going for if you can. Now a quick look at the newsfeed while I'm here. The champion coins, you can see here, it says all about that. So if I'm looking at this, it looks like the coins are paid out at the end of each day. If they're only paid out at the end of the event, you can't really change guilds midway, as that will mess it up. I guess we'll find out tomorrow, though, how this works. I'm not really sure today, unfortunately. Then here, it just gives a bit more information about the Tournament of Champions. You can all read that for yourselves if you want to do so. And there we go. That marks the end of this video. I hope that was interesting and helpful. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this video, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help. If you did enjoy this video, giving it a like and subscribing is always appreciated. Thank you to those that have already subscribed. We have a previous video on the screen, plus a playlist, plus you can also subscribe from here if you want to do so. And thanks for watching.